Stop chasing. Look, it's Marcel, aka Honey Bunny Sunny, and you know I'm on a mission to make you some money. Listen, today I have an incredible video for you all. But listen, if you're new to this channel, you're seeing my face for the first time, welcome. Definitely take some time to go and watch some of the other videos if you're a new trader. This is going to give you a leg up in the market, right? I'm coming and delivering a video every single day, right? Every single day there's something valuable that you can just take and apply. I'm not waiting for you to come and buy something from me. I'm giving it to you like here on the channel, right? So if you go through the videos, through the categories, you will see that there's something that can be applied to make your trading just a little bit better, right? Now, that brings me to my next point, which is what this video is about. It's about just getting a little bit better, okay? It's about the importance of practice, right? Anybody 30 and up that knows about Allen Iverson, you see it on the thumbnail, you know that he was complaining about, practice. He was like, we talking about practice, right? Now, though the way that he was saying it was like he ain't need to be there, I'm saying that he was wrong, and I think he knows that he was wrong. You do need to be in practice, right? When it comes to trading, you have to absolutely treat this thing like a sport, right? You can't just show up to the game. You can't just come to the live market with all these brilliant minds that are also competing for this money without having any sort of practice. Now, when you think about trading, right, you might be like, well, what exactly is practice? Like, how do I train for the trading day? How do I prepare myself? Well, there's so many ways. As a matter of fact, throughout your life, you're probably training for the most important part of trading, which is your psychology, right? Throughout your life, you are every day faced with, am I going to be patient? Am I going to be disciplined? In every decision or indecision, am I exercising patience? Am I exercising discipline? Every decision you make, that is something that you have to consider. Whether you eat what you truly want to eat, or you eat what you know is necessary to give you the nourishment and the energy that you need to then go and be productive. Now, eating what you want to eat is going to satisfy you right there in the moment, but then you're not going to have energy to go and do other things that you need to do in the day. You could also be, moving yourself closer to sickness sooner, right? So why would we approach the market in that manner, right? Just doing what we want to do instead of really taking our time and making sure that we're exercising patience and discipline and doing what's right. Now, the ways in which you practice, right, are, like I said, in your everyday life with your patience and your discipline, but also journaling, right? Before, sometimes during, and after you trade. This is extremely important, okay? Understanding where you are, where you were, what mindset you were in when you made a particular play, writing that down, understanding that, seeing how close to the script you're sticking, seeing how close to your strategy you're sticking, right? If you're not writing this down and keeping a record of it, you can't really measure your progress. You're just showing up and your trading is random. Right? It may not seem like that to you. Some people think that they can skip certain steps and still get the results of people that have been doing it the right way, right? The best players in any game, they are practicing. They're practicing when nobody's looking. They're doing things that people don't even think to do when nobody's looking, so that when they show up, they look like somebody that nobody's ever seen before. I remember watching a documentary that was talking about how Kobe, instead of going to the club, it was about the Olympics. So we had some of the greatest basketball athletes in the entire world speaking about this man, and how instead of going to the club and instead of hanging out and drinking and doing all these other things, he would rather get an early start on the gym. He would rather get rest at night and then get an early start at the gym, so that he can make sure that by the time everybody else is there, he's already gone through reps. He's already dripped in sweat, right? He's already prepared and worked on things that them getting there cold are just now going to start doing. right? So what does that mean in the stock market, right? A lot of times people are trying to make a quick buck, but in reality, there is a way for you to trade and never lose money. You want to know what it's called? It's called paper trading. I always encourage people before they start to at least get 100 reps in paper trading. But even when you've done that and you start trading real money, it's also a tool that you can go and use anytime. I know it's kind of crazy to think about, but it's like you don't have to risk your own money if you're not all the way there yet. If you're coming off of a bad week, you know a really good way to get back into the groove? Get some confidence about yourself by having some success in a paper trading account, right? Things that go bad can get worse. How do we combat that? If you take a big loss in the market, you can come back the next week and paper trade so that you're still getting the rep, you're still getting, the actual practice in, but you're not putting any money at risk. There's a lot of resources that we don't take advantage of. And then we look up and we see that we're not getting the results that we want, and we wonder why. It's like there is time off the charts that has to be spent on your psychology, on your mental, on your spiritual, on your physical body, right? Go do your research. Some of the top traders are in physical shape, right? They're in great physical health because all of that is a part of your body. Your mind, believe it or not, is a part of your body, right? So if your mind and your body are not in a good space, you're not going to make great decisions. It's important to understand this. The journaling, right? So something that I do is whether it's a loss or a win, I'm writing like, what was the reason that I took this play? Like really walking through the reason. What was my emotional state, right? What happened leading up to this? This is how you're going to get an extreme level of pattern recognition, which is what feeds your instincts, right? Pattern recognition feeds your instinct. It allows you to make quicker decisions. Like, when something is on the horizon or something like it's getting ready to happen, it allows you to, respond to it in a quicker manner instead of ruining your account and reacting slowly. Right? You start to see things before they come so that you can adjust and, lower the impact to you. Because some things are just inevitable, right? There will be losses that are taken in the market, but they don't have to be severe if you have something to do with it. Okay. So paper trading, 100 reps before you take your first trade, but also use it as something that you go into when things are off. You know what happens when Steph Curry has a bad day? The first thing he does? Back in the gym shooting after the game. Kobe was the same way. If they miss big plays, right? If they blew a shot clock or a buzzer beater, if they blew that, they back in the gym that same night working on that exact shot, right? But to no expense to them other than their time, but they can't lose there, right? You can't lose when you're practicing, right? So it's like, and then the more you practice, the more you have a chance of actually winning when it's actually counting. So when you have a bad trade, go back and rehearse that trade. Go back and look at that trade and look at the different alternatives of what you could have done. It may seem like it's a little bit of an extra effort, a little bit of extra time, but if you talking about living this lifestyle and having results and having trading be something that can replace your job, you have to take the time to do these things, right? I'm telling you this because everybody just wants your money. Everybody just wants you to give them something and then they'll tell you this general information. I want you to leave this channel and be able to actually implement this stuff in your real life and in your trading life. The more you study yourself, the more you understand how to move through different things. So use those resources that are available to you. Take practice trades, be like Kobe, be like Steph Curry, and actually do these things when you have a bad day, right? When things don't go the way, become so investigative, like be a detective, like really pour into yourself to understand like what, not be critical, but pour into yourself in terms of investment of your time to really like dissect where you went wrong. Like sometimes you got to just be like, okay. To this day, I do that. Like, okay, I was a little early on that. Reason being is because I didn't want to wait. I wanted to get this trade done. I wanted to make the money quicker. So I didn't actually wait for the confirmations that I would normally wait for. You got to own that and you got to go correct it. Right? But if you're swinging for the fence every time and just taking random trades and not going back and practicing, not going back and reading at least an hour a day, right? Not studying charts, not understanding how the news is impacting, not understanding how the macroeconomic environment is impacting your trading. It's like you can't expect to get anything but poor or average results. But if you want extraordinary results, you have to go the extra mile, right? And I'm not saying work your face off, but just take time, right? Be intentional and understand that like, okay, like the only way to get a better jumper is to shoot more jumpers. The only way to become a better trader is to take more trades. I can take unlimited trades in a trading account that is paper, right? I would even advise you do this, right? If you are in the process of recovering your trading account, you've come off of some losses, put together a strategy where you might have 2 trading days and 3 practice days. Notice that there are more practice days for sports than there are games. It might be a reason for that, right? You need more time practicing than you need for showtime, right? You need more time conditioning than you need for the actual energy that you're going to expend in a game. You got people that train for years, like, Usain Bolt trained for years, hours and hours and hours in a day to go run a race that is less than 10 seconds. Well, he made it less than 10 seconds, right? Practice. If you can start pouring into practice and understand that practice is not something that you take from. Practice is your service. Practice is you giving to the sport. Practice is you giving to the craft. And that game time victory is what you get to extract from it. You know what that also shows? You ever read the book, The Giver? It's like if your mindset is on giving, practice giving, you will wind up receiving more, but always have the intention of giving more than what you receive. And the universe is going to take care of the giving you more than what you deserve. You see how that works? I'm focusing on giving. The universe is focused on giving to me as a result of my giving instead of taking. All right. We need practice, right? We need to become self-aware, lock into yourself, come up with a strategy, stick to it, test the strategy, tweak the strategy, right? Get into a zone, really commit to this craft that can absolutely change and save your life, right? I know there are people that are watching this video that are in positions that they do not want to be in. You do not want to go your whole life never being able to actually take charge of your time, take charge of your decisions, right? Be able to powerfully move through this world. I know that if you're watching this video, you are trying to get to that level. And I'm telling you that this is a skill set that could really get you there, keep you from having to interact with people and energies that may impact your spirit on a daily basis. But you got to give to it. And that giving is, like I said, it's through practice. All right. Practice. Don't listen to Allen Iverson. He was wrong. All right. I love y'all. I hope these videos are truly impacting you guys. If you need a trading home, y'all know the TPC, right? The Prosperity Collective is in the description. You can click on the link and join the membership. One thing about us is we're going to pour into you. We're going to give as much as we can to you. The people in that community are also pouring, so you have a high chance of really learning and developing your skill set, right? There are people that are in an environment, creating an environment that is set for success. So I invite you to join if that's something that you want to do. Also, you don't have to worry about us trying to upsell you. You don't have to worry about us trying to withhold things from you. We're going to give you everything that we have, right? In hopes that you take it and run with it. All right. Again, I love y'all. I appreciate you guys for stopping by my channel. If this video was helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you know somebody that needs this message, go ahead and share it with them. I would greatly appreciate it. It costs nothing. All right. Remember, invest smart, live free. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.